My skin is finally finished. Kinda. Technically, this is just an updated version of an older circle skin I have. I mostly did this because I wanted an overlap skin that I can use with 14 key and 16 key, and even 12 key, but we'll get to that later. Because of this, it's a very bare bones skin, with barely any UI elements, hit sounds, or any of the other modes, as I'll mostly be using this in Soundsphere. If you've used this skin in the past, this video will make a lot more sense, as I'll basically be discussing the main design changes I've made from this. Oh, and here's a timestamp if you want to skip to the gameplay. The notes here remain circles, but there's a slight difference in the color. It's more muted, and the outlines are mixed with the color. I talked about this in a previous video about how this causes the scrolling to appear smoother, and I think it looks nice like this. The long notes are more narrow and have some transparency to them, and you'll see how this helps with higher key counts. I got these long notes from this bubble looking skin, which are insanely long for some reason, but they work. No rounded tail or tail image at all. This keeps with the smooth aesthetic I have going on here. I've also decided not to go with the gradient style that I've used a lot in my previous skins. And honestly, this muted color looks better here, and there's less visual information to try and keep up with. It's very clean. Same combo from the color skin and how it's optimized for the bouncy animations. I just needed a random word for the max judgment, and this is the first thing that popped in my head. I did animate a little glow effect, but this won't be viewable in Soundsphere. I adjusted the background lane colors to be slightly brighter and to have a different arrangement than what was previously here. The receptor might look weird here, but you have to remember, the whole point of the skin was to play DP comfortably in the overlap style. If you use a regular receptor here and try to overlap the columns, it looks way too messy to make sense of anything. So this was a way to keep everything neat, even if things are jumbled up like this. I got this idea from Skin, and it's a clever way of having the receptors be stable while your key presses can still be visible. Main issue is with chords like this, they're kind of ambiguous on how to hit exactly, especially if they're going in an inward direction. The notes don't exactly match up with the key images. I was too lazy to get any more accurate than this. The blue and white colors feel too similar to me sometimes, especially the long notes, and I sometimes have trouble distinguishing top or bottom row when playing DP. 12 key is a mess. To keep everything within the 570 column width to work with my stream overlay, I decided to overlap the scratch lanes here, and because of this pattern is basically unreadable. Now, hopefully, almost none of the 12 key maps have this, except for maybe the converted 10 key 2S charts. So this should maybe be a non-issue, but this is definitely something you should be aware of. And lastly, 18 key is a mess. I would have used overlap here, as that's the main theme of this skin, but it just doesn't work with how I want the column size to be. 55 size won't even fit the full width of the skin like this, so the circles are stretched in an unintended way. I'll probably do a small update when laser is released, so I can overlap both 12 key and 18 key exactly how I want them. Maybe have the scratch lane stretch across all of the columns, as that'll probably be more readable. And with Soundsphere, these limitations can be negated, which I just found out about. But I think I want to make a Soundsphere specific skin, just so I can do literally every key and scratch combination that I play, and even some unconventional key counts like 11 or 24. You know, the ones that aren't currently in Osu.